Hey, how everybody doing today? Peace and much love. Bro Sanchez with the one and only Dave Moore.
Or allegedly Dave.
Allegedly Dave Moore. This is my brother, man. Listen, he just came to Vegas. We both in town. It just feels so good to meet him in person. I feel the love. He's a genuine person. Let me tell you, so much more to come between me and this guy, man. He got a lot of information to share, and I think it really is really important. You about to get a taste of a lot of history today. Allegedly, Dave got this book, Black Man, Do You Know Who You Are? Based on his last video. I checked it out. The link to that video is in the description, as well as the link to my brother's channel. He's someone that I learned from and one of the pioneers of bringing the flat earth movement back, if you ask me. We was just talking about this recent video you made, Black Man, Do You Know Who You Are? And this is just a little pamphlet. I'm gonna let Dave give y'all a rundown. There's a lot in here to know. We was just talking about the history. The first thing you find in this book, y'all, I want you to see this. Can you see that? The earth is flat. So this is deep. I'm gonna have some of these. Dave will be giving me PDFs available for everyone. So we want to look at this in its entirety and read it thoroughly. And I'm gonna let Dave just go into it and give everybody a rundown.
Sure. Well, so the very first thing is the earth is flat, because that's an important data point, because once you realise how deep the lies go, you know, if they can lie to you about the shape and nature of the earth, they can lie to you about anything. And while I was researching the flat earth, I fell into realising the even bigger lie, which was the lie of who we are. And this booklet is literally trying to teach people that we're not who we think we are. We're a proud, powerful nation of people. Okay? We've been suppressed, we've been psychologically damaged. In here I actually go through part of that psychology. You know, the standard of beauty that they've created in this world. Well, we don't match that. Okay? There's no way we can actually match it. There's no way most white people can match it. So that we always think of ourselves as ugly. You know, even if it's subconsciously. The standard of education, okay, is based on a linear, pattern recognition, sequential intelligence, right? That's not the way our intelligence works. Our intelligence is a creative, parallel, intuitive process. So when our intelligence is measured by their standard, we end up looking stupid. But you know, we're not stupid. You know, we're cleverer than they are. We're not cleverer because there's that intelligence makes them cunning, clever, sneaky. Now, we're creative.
What would you say to the people of our people who just not aware of how deep this deception go? Because when we talk about the Jews and how they took our language and made it into their language to hide a lot of stuff, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I learned so much today in like 10 minutes talking to this brother. I'm gonna let him continue on with the Jewish deception and the difference between Yiddish, Jewish, and just the deception with the language, because a lot of people talk about the Jews but don't really know exactly the role they played. So I'm gonna let Dave give y'all a little rundown.
Well, we had our own language. It was actually the very first language. It was a language that Adam spoke to the Creator with. It was Paleo-Hebrew. Okay, so we could speak about this, you know, for the next 2 hours, because it's an amazing language. Once you get into it, you know, it excites you. You know, you kind of really. I'll give you an example of how it works. Okay, in English, we'd use a word like son as in offspring. You know, it's just a sound. You know, and we associate that sound, son, with a small child, you know, a small boy. Yeah. In Hebrew, the word for son is the letters B and N. Yeah. Ba and na. Ba and na. So it comes out as ba. Okay. B is a picture of a tent. Okay. And that means house, home, family. Every word has about 8 or 9 meanings now. House, home, family, bloodline. You know, you can, from those meanings, you get one kind of feeling what that means. Okay. The letter N is a picture of a seed sprouting. Yeah, it means seed, continuation. You know, bloodline. Yeah, you put those together, it means continuation of the family. That's what a son is. Can you get that? It's like it's a picture that tells a story, that tells you the meaning of what the thing is. It's not like English. English is a abstract language that you have to learn by listening to a word and then associating with a thing. Yeah. So Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew is, you see a picture and it hits you here, and you understand what it means by
symbology.
Yes,
it's a sigil form of language as well.
It's a word picture. Okay, and not only every letter is a word picture. Yeah, every word made up of letters is a story that those letters represent, that tells you the meaning. And when you tell a whole story with those words, that whole story is a word picture.
And that's kind of like what I be going into with the symbolism and alphabets. And so they took this language, Paleo-Hebrew, which was our original language, and today what most of the black country's community is calling Hebrew language is not that.
It's not, absolutely not.
Wow.
Whenever we were taken into captivity, we've been taken into captivity a lot. The first thing they did was tell us we couldn't use our own language. We had to learn the local language. Yeah? Same as with this latest captivity, we had to dump whatever language we knew and had to learn English. Okay, very symbolic language, as I said. It doesn't mean anything. So what they did is they killed Paleo-Hebrew. It's not just a dead language; it's a killed language. Yeah, they deliberately suppressed it, and then they overlaid it with this new language, new modern Hebrew, which isn't Hebrew, it's Yiddish. Okay, and it's very similar. It's structured in a kind of familiar way to Paleo-Hebrew, but in actual fact, it's there to hide the meanings. Okay, so if you know some of the rules of Paleo-Hebrew, such as there are no vowels in Paleo-Hebrew. Okay, there's only an A sound and an I, and that I is hardly ever used. But there's no vowels, so there's no O's, no E's, no U's.
Kind of like the first Kemetic language where they say they didn't have any vowels.
Well, that's the thing. If you realise that, well, I said to you earlier on that Paleo-Hebrew is the very first language. Yeah. If you look at all the languages around it, every language west of Jerusalem is a symbolic language. Yeah? It's not a picture, it's symbolic, it's abstract. Yeah? Every language east of Jerusalem is pictographical. You know, like Chinese and Japanese and Arabic, they're pictures. Yeah? So you can see how languages spread from that one spot. And that was the Tower of Babel, when all the languages got confused. Yeah, they just spread out from that point. That's why all the stories are the same stories, but told through different languages and different, a different sort of language mindset. Yeah, that's why all the things are the same, because it's the same story. Yeah, so that's what's going on. It's you're saying it's Kemetic. It's not Kemetic really. It's Hebrew. And the people from Kemet will say, "Oh no, Africa, they came up with it first." No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Yeah, you can see how it progressed from Paleo-Hebrew. So the modern so-called Hebrew is there to hide things. And I was giving you the example. The word devils means is Sayir, S-A-I-Y-R, in Paleo-Hebrew. And that means hairy, red, goat, demon-possessed goat. And that gives you a kind of feeling of what a demon is, so you'd stop there. But if you look at the modern Hebrew, there's another word, S-E apostrophe I-Y-R. And you might be and forgiven for believing, that's a separate word. But there's no E in Paleo Hebrew. So if you replace the E with an A, it's the same word. So you look at those meanings, you find it's a place in the Caucasus Mountains called Mount Seir. It means, again, hairy, red, goat, he-goat, yeah? But you get the feeling, if you know how the Bible works, yeah, if you get the feeling of all those words all put together, you realise it's talking about a people. It's talking about Esau, the white people, the original white people who went to Mount Seir. Yeah?
Can I ask you something about the original white people? Now, I have a lot of Hebrew Israelite brothers follow me. Shout out to the Hebrew Israelites. Shout out to everybody in the country's community. We're getting another side of the story that even those brothers might not be aware of here. They use the word Esau a lot, but I think they really use it, they're dealing with the literal biblical term. Is there more to it? Who is this Esau group of people? Because I know there are a certain group of white people in particular when we deal with the original. And did they crawl on all fours like the mythology, like a lot of people say and all of this?
Well, I didn't go into, because there is a lot of stuff out there, I didn't go into that. I'd love to deal with facts. And so what I found out about Esau is that they mixed with pretty much every other nation apart from us. Because back in the past we were very spiritual. We still are. We've always been spiritual. And we believe, we for the most part, apart from when we fell and sinned, we followed the law. And the law said we were never to mix with all other nations. Yeah. So Esau mixed with the Ishmaelites, with the Arabs. They mixed with the Japhethites, yeah, who were supposedly the original Europeans, but we're not sure, but Asians. Yeah. So Esau as a people disappeared, but they didn't actually disappear. They just mixed in, and their ancestral hatred of us has driven all the other nations to hate us, because they are all the other nations. People will say that the Bible says that Esau will disappear altogether, but it says, I think it's in the Apocrypha, that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that that follows. So that Esau will be there at the end.
And when you speak of Esau like this, it sounds like the board. Do you remember the board? It's like they're an assimilated.
Exactly. They were a very fierce, warlike people, red-headed giants. Okay, they had that serpent seed. They mixed with the serpent seed. Okay, so those were the red-headed giants that went across Asia. I mean, I think it's Genghis Khan, who 1 in 5 Asians are related to. Okay, because Genghis Khan and his people just literally ravaged Asia, and their method of warfare was to kill the males, rape the women, so that the next generation will be them.
And that's written in the Bible too.
Yes. So that's it. They mix with all these nations either forcibly or willingly.
This is some mind-blowing stuff that you don't get in history class, and I'm soaking it in. I'm gonna be researching it. The brother got a lot of information. I got some more questions, Dave, because this gets real interesting. When we look at the world today and we see so much diversity and we see so many interracial couples, especially here in America, we see the mixing thing is so normal today. I want to go back into history when there was a time where it was actually forbidden for different people. But I want to go back prior to that, to the creation of humans and the different races, because lately on my channel I've been having a lot of open panels, and one of the big debates that's been coming up, and it's becoming this circular argument, is how was we all created? And a lot of people like myself is starting to embrace the idea that there's one creator who created all of the diversity we see at one time, But there's also another popular idea that maybe there's one creator that just created what we call melanated people first, and melanated people somehow either moved around in different environments and evolved into different places, or we played. A lot of people say we were smart, we weren't primitive, and we knew about stem cell research, we knew about DNA manipulating, and we actually created a different type of human race ourselves because we was already hip to the science that they hip to today and all of that. What you think about that?
Right, well, again, I've been researching this for about 3 years, so I've gone really deep into it. And, from my point of view, again, some of this is speculation because we're all trying to piece this together. But the way I see it, there were two creations of God. Okay, first of all, the Bible isn't about the whole history of the earth. It's about the last 7,000 years of Earth's history. That's all it is. It's not the whole history of the earth. The earth is much older than the last 6,000 years. Okay. If you look at Genesis, I think it's 1:26, it tells them that let us make man in our own image. Yeah? Plural, let us make man in our own image. And then in Genesis 2:7 or something, it's the Most High, creates Adam, or forms Adam from the dust of the ground and breathes the soul into him. Yeah? Two different creations. Yeah. Men and women were created in 1:27, and then Adam on his own was created in 2:7. Yeah? So there were two creations. There were people created before Adam was created. Okay? Adam was special. He was meant to be the governor of this world. He was meant to be immortal, the immortal governor of the world. Okay? And there was an event in the garden. Okay, and I've got some new information, so I'm still playing around with this because this new information is quite amazing. Really. But anyway, there was an event in the garden which corrupted this idea of him being immortal. So the plan B almost was, okay, it's not going to be you because you've sinned now. It's going to have to be your children. It's going to be your children. We are the children of Adam. Okay, that's what the Bible is about. It's a book of lineage, all the way from Adam through to the children of Jacob, and then to the remnant of the children of Jacob today, who we are.
This is very interesting because we're dealing with Genesis. That's a book I deal with a lot, and that's dealing with the genealogy. That's trying to deal with, it starts off in the darkness and the light was turned on, and we're dealing with the cosmological origins. Then it end up in a garden where man tree or the human plant was made in this garden. And where I want to go is that everyone, when they're going back to human origins, they find themselves in this garden. And I want to say that it's more than mythology. Now that we're flat earthers, I'm thinking that this garden is a literal garden, a literal location. We just not allowed access to it. I've been looking at a lot of ancient maps, and I'm thinking that the tree of life and the Garden of Eden really exists at the North Pole. These ancient maps have continents, that big continents they're not telling us about. And on the maps you can see it's written in ancient languages, but you can make out certain words. And some of those words is like inhabitants of the pygmies, inhabitants land of the giants. And then some of the ancient origin stories talk about humans everybody being created from the North Pole and spreading out was sort of like a ripple, a drop in the pond that spreads outward. And it makes a lot of sense, and I've been getting into that. There's definitely a magnetic energy that attracts all compasses to the center of this earth circle. And with that being said, it gives truth to the mythology that something's magical there. None of us never been, but we all talk about a Garden of Eden where a tree of life is. And if it's something that's literally pointing us to the center, maybe we can go beyond the mythology and say, hey, this is real. You know, what do you think about that?
Well, I kind of try not to think about things I can't, you know, really grapple with. I've not been to the North Pole. I don't, you know, so I try not to deal with those things.
And I get what you're saying, but if we never think about it, then our kids will never strive to go. If you ask me a lot of the questions, remember you was just saying like, of course we're going to speculate sometime because a lot of things we just don't know. And I believe we can know them, but they're hidden with force. So, for example, you got Antarctic treaties, you got a treaty that prevents you from going to the North Pole. And to me, they want those question marks there. To me, they don't want us to go there because we would know what.
But you know what? The way I see it, we don't need to know that. Okay, and bear with me. We don't need to know that. Okay, because the plan that's in operation right now is unfolding before us. Okay, this particular time of captivity we're in right now, right, was to last 400 years. It says it in Genesis that we will be taken into land that we do not know, and we're going to be enslaved and afflicted for 400 years. When you look at Deuteronomy 28, it is absolutely clear that it's us they're talking about. All the curses were the things that were afflicting the slaves in the Old South. Okay? The transatlantic slave trade started in 1619. 400 years on from then is in 2 years' time. Yeah. We've seen our captivity changing. Yeah, we're in a kind of economic activity.
Yeah, we are.
But at the same time, we're starting to wake up to who we are. We're starting to remember. Yeah, we're coming out of it, and this is what the Bible's saying. We're coming out of our captivity, and this is why the New World Order is ramping up its activities. They're like crazy now, false flags every 5 minutes, you know, because we're coming up to the end of our slavery, and they need to have something in place to stop us getting out. And they can't stop it because the Most High is doing this.
Oh man, this when I hear this, it just really makes me feel good because I do feel like there's something big happening, and I do feel like it is only so long that our liberation can be held from us. But I want to know from you, what is this liberation going to be sparked by?
Well, first of all, I've just got to say, right, you are part of that prophecy. Yeah? So am I. I'm here. You know, we've met. Yeah, we've only spoken to each other on the internet. Yeah. Here we are sitting and talking. It's just, you know, it's like, you know, how does that happen? Yeah. The point is, right, we are instruments of this prophecy. You know, this video, the things you do, the things I do, the things that, you know, we all collectively do, are going to be waking up the people who need to be woken up. And I can't tell you exactly. I'm still reading the Bible. Every time I read that Bible, the Old Testament, forget the New Testament, it's a bunch of lies. I know there's a lot of people who are out there who still, you know, praise Jesus and all that. Yeah, he's a fraud. He's a lie. He's there to keep you sinning without knowing about it. Yeah, breaking the first 2 commandments. You know, thou shalt not have any gods before me, and you know, don't create idols, don't worship idols. Yeah. I think it's Deuteronomy 28 says that when we're in captivity, we're going to worship foreign gods of wood and stone. Well, the two religions that have ensnared our people, Christianity, a wooden cross, and Islam, a rock that everyone prays to.
Oh man.
Wood and stone. Yeah, it's again, when you read these things in the Bible, you get chills because it's like,
and it's almost like, who is this author? Who? And if we go to these, if we say the Bible was compiled by the enemy, the Europeans, then it means they knew this all along and was writing it, or either these were some real godly inspired words by our ancestors that was written and plagiarized like someone else prophesying or something like that.
Well, you know what? The way I see it is that the enemy cannot destroy this book. They cannot destroy the word. But what they can do is overwrite it with stuff. They can add on a New Testament and say, don't look here, look here. Look at the New Testament, that old one, no, it's done with, forget it. Yeah?
That's what happened.
That's what happened. They tacked their New Testament on. They called what our book is called the Book of Remembrance. It says it in Malachi, the end of Malachi, which is the last book of the Old Testament. It says, paraphrasing, it says, and people sat around thinking about the words of the Most High, so they wrote a book of remembrance. And that's what the book is. It's a book of remembrance. It's there to let us remember who we are, right? What our law is, what our lifestyle should be, and literally all those stories from the Bible, they're there to give us guidance for the situations that we're going to find ourselves facing. Yeah, every situation you can think of that will affect you and your life. Turn to a page and, okay, it tells us this is what we've got to do. It's our book, it's there for us. So yeah, that's what they're tapped on their book. Yeah, said, look in Christianity now, they'll say, don't bother with the Old Testament. Yeah, Jesus has come now and there's new rules.
To do away with the law,
yeah. But underneath it, they can't get rid of it. They tried their best when they translated it into Latin and Greek, and only the priests could understand it. So you had to go to a priest to find out what word of the law the creator was, and they'll tell you what their bullshit story. Yeah? But King James, who was a black guy, who was a black Hebrew Israelite, said, you know what? I'm going to have the book translated into English because that's the language our people speak now. Yeah. Because and it says in forward, because there are people who don't want us to have the word, and that's why he had that book. That's what he was an agent of the Most High, making sure that that word will never die.
King James, we always brag that he was a black man, but we really don't know. It's crazy because even in the black country community, a lot of people use the fact that King James was black to say that, you know, he wronged us for giving us that book. I was one of them. I'm one of them. So King James was actually one of our ancestors who tried to preserve our history in that book. So what I know that the Scottish Rite Masons, the different Prince Hall Masons, they deal with the Bible heavily. I wonder what's their association and connection with it. And was King James, you think he was a Mason or?
Well, just like everything in this world, most things start off as good, and they get sort of taken over and then perverted, and that's what I believe Masonry was. I mean, Masonry was very old, and it might have had some nefarious things, but it wasn't what it is now. Yeah, it's like the Bavarian Illuminati, the whole Adam Weishaupt stuff. That came in the 1700s. Yeah, they took over Masonry. Okay, created their upper levels, so that the lower levels of Masonry probably stayed the same as helping people and doing their good works and stuff. And so you got the 33 degrees, and there's probably more degrees than that. And in those degrees, they know how the operation of things really go, but the people down below have no idea.
It's so awesome that you said that. That confirms a video I made, Ancient Cosmology, what the Masons are hiding. He was just saying about the 33rd degree, so much more than the other guys, and they call those when you start at the 33rd. I think in the 30s or something like that, it's the arch degrees. And everything with the arch is sacred, dealing with the ancient cosmology of the arch. I don't know where you stand on the arch dome or the firmament dome. Do you believe in it?
Absolutely, I do. I think it is there is a film. I actually, the way I see it is that we've got that disc of familiar Earth that we're all the continents we're aware of. You've got the ice ring, and beyond it, you've got those continents in that map from Hawaii, with all the extra continents around, and then you get the dome over the whole lot. So I think you can go a lot further beyond Antarctica before you ever hit the dome.
That is, I never heard that explanation, but it makes so much damn sense. A lot of people wrestling like, is there a dome or is it an infinite plane? Or is it both? And I started saying both, but who knows? That does make sense because that map does show that land, and there's no maps that show nothing after that. But I was wondering if maybe they got rid of more maps that it keeps going. Who knows? But based on what we got.
Well, Admiral Byrd actually said, well, he went over there, and when he came back, I think the Encyclopedia Americana from 1948 says, when you look up Antarctica, it says it has a dome at 13,000 feet.
Wow.
Now, and Admiral Byrd, when he went over with all those planes, he came back with half the planes missing. Yeah? So I think they found out there was a dome at 13,000 feet because they kept crashing the planes into it. You know?
And there's so many missing planes in the world. If it's 13,000 feet in Antarctica, I would imagine it'll be a bit higher in the middle of the, in the disc.
I think, yeah, obviously it is. But I think, you have to go way past the edge of Antarctica before you encounter the dome at 13,000 feet.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's curving like that. Yeah. And so, you're hitting the dome around here,
Yeah.
So anywhere else, I think we're noticing that there's some kind of barrier about 75 miles up. Is that, I don't know if you've come across the Go Faster rocket. There's a video where it goes off, it takes off and it's spinning like crazy. Yeah, and then it just goes dunk and stops and then falls back to Earth, So I'm not sure if it's a physical barrier because that rocket would have gone smash,
Yeah.
But it just went dunk.
Almost like some kind of just invisible material that just, and they spoke of it like water.
Yeah.
And a lot of people tie that into the underwater lakes, the saline lakes that they have.
Yes, where the guy said it bounced off.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, we went ballooning in Albuquerque, and the pilot of the balloon that we're in, I got talking to him, and he said, and I mentioned Auguste Piccard.
Yeah.
The guy who went up further than anybody else in the balloon. And he said, one of my friends is Auguste Piccard's son. So he gave me all these details. So I'm going to contact him and see what we can find out.
Oh, that is, did y'all hear that? Auguste Piccard's son, that'll be amazing right there.
Yeah, let's hope he's talkative.
Yeah, you're right. And Dave, man, you come up with some of these moments, like you be out there, you make yourself approachable to the people and stuff. You kind of famous on the web, man. You're a famous person, dude.
Okay. Do I get on the Oscars or something? Where's my publicist?
Hey, really though, man, your work is awesome, and I just want to say we really appreciate it. When me and the brother hooked up and we embraced, I felt the genuineness, You can just feel when it's real. That's all I want to say. That this is my brother, man, and we're going to be doing so many more of these. You older than me, and man, you look like you in better shape than me. I don't like that.
Well, that's the other thing I talk about, health, and this is another thing our people need to know, because you can heal yourself of anything with nothing. And I literally travel around helping people with this knowledge, because these diseases that we're suffering from have been man-made for us. This is, again, everything about this world is about us. Yeah. Diabetes is about us. It's designed for us. Yeah. So all of these diseases, you can get rid of them with nothing. You literally just need to know how. You know? And it says in the Bible, you know, how people are destroyed through lack of knowledge. And that's it. You know, and in this day and age, ignorance is a choice. So some of the things I talk about, well, we've been programmed against thinking about it. But you know, if you're serious about wanting to get rid of all these illnesses, you see past it, just go ahead and do it.
I made a video about urine therapy, and at the time I done learned a lot since then. At the time I was humorous and I was being all funny, and I didn't look up and know that after I made the video, so many people have been doing urine therapy, getting good benefits from it. And I'm willing to hear more about urine therapy, and I just want to say before we get on this, right now where I stand on it, guys, at first I told you I don't recommend it. What I want to say now is just to research it. I don't never want to be the one to say, don't do this, it's stupid. It sounds a bit unusual, but let's research it. Let's see. So that's the correct name. For someone who have researched it and very familiar with it, we're going to be open-minded just like we was with Flat Earth, because the more bizarre some sound today, the more I'm realizing it's really what the truth is.
Well, all I can say is that, you know, I started out, I was nearly 300 pounds. Okay? I was I suffered from chronic asthma all my life. Yeah? I had, well, you can't see it on the camera, but I've got this scar up the back of my leg, which is an Achilles tendon operation. I had nerve damage on one side of my foot, pain up the back of my leg from it, yeah, so I couldn't walk very well. I had backache, I had shoulder problems where I couldn't lift my arm above shoulder height. I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, I had a whole list of things wrong with me. My blood pressure was so high that I was in stroke territory. Right? So I tried all sorts of alternative therapies. And nothing really worked until I started urine therapy. And I was like anybody else, you know, drink your own wee, yeah, no way, you know. But I went to a talk and this woman just laid it out nice and calmly, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. I'm just going to, you know, put everything aside and just give it a go as an experiment. Literally a year later, you know, I'm literally thin. I've got so much energy. You know, my asthma's gone. Every single problem I had is gone. You know, and I'm feeling younger. I'm looking younger. You know, it's just amazing. I've been helping all these people. I just got like a video from somebody. This woman, I spent ages trying to talk to her about it, and she's, you know, listening and not really engaging. And she wrote me and said, I'm going to give it a go, and I'll let you know what happens. The next night, she sends me a little video, you know, on Facebook, and it's like, she's saying, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I've got all this energy I don't know what to do with.
Oh,
you know, my back isn't hurting me for the first time in ages. I'm sitting here all relaxed, and this is amazing. And I only had 1 ounce. My first day, I've had 1 ounce, and this is now she's doing a whole video log of what's happening to her.
I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna make this. I'm willing to learn more. You know what?
I'm gonna go the way. I'm willing to try.
I'm willing to try. And guess what? I'm willing to. I'm gonna put this on camera for the record. I made a video making fun of it. Now I'm gonna make a video. And I'm going to go live with Dave when I tried my first time. and look, for everybody who I took your clips and made fun out of you, you can use this to make fun out of me. Because I'm going to try it now. Because, hey, I'm open-minded, and I'm never a person that's so full of ego and just, I was wrong. I'm willing to try it. A lot of people that tried it, they look, man, they look like how I be on the coffee. But man, you know, I'm really into it because I just think the ignorance, because when I say ignorance, ignoring. When you hear urine therapy, it's just like flat earth. Get that shit out of here. You know, you immediately reject, and then you don't even research it, because some in there said urine therapy, yeah, just like flat earth, yeah. So now I'm willing to really find it out. Now, what would you say about the first time? Do you want to put anything to mix with it?
Well, if you're squeamish about it, yeah, because first of all, it doesn't smell or taste like you think it's going to, yeah, because you associate the smell with with like an old toilet, yeah, that's that horrible acrid smell of weed, yeah, it's not what your weed smells like, yeah, it's not what, and you know, the taste isn't what you think, right? But most of it's up here. The idea of drinking. Okay? If you were just to, you know, wear a glass and knock it back and stop being pussy, you know, you'll go, actually it's not as bad as I think.
Just hold it on.
Well, the way I do it in the same way is take a deep breath, yeah, hold your breath, and while holding your breath, drink it all down in one, and then while still holding your breath, get a glass of water, take a mouthful, and you know, just rinse it out. Not rinse it out, drink the mouthful of water. Everything's gone. All you get is a bit of saltiness, a bit of bitterness maybe, a bit of sweetness even, whatever. It could be so simple.
Now, how often would we do this? Every day for the rest of our life? Or?
Well, not necessarily. Right? You'd start doing, if you were sick with something, you know, I usually get people to drink twice a day. Yeah? So the first one in the morning was important, and one sort of late afternoon, early evening. Just like I was telling that woman, I just told about that woman. Not too late, because that burst of energy you get from it will keep you up all night. You're not used to it. Yeah, so twice, sort of early, first in the morning, early evening or late afternoon, okay, the second one. Also, keep a little bit aside to wash yourself with. Okay? So you pour a little bit into the palm of your hand and massage it into the skin until it absorbs completely into your skin. It will not smell. Okay? Some chemical interaction means it doesn't smell when it absorbs into your pores. And literally it will pull all the toxins out of you. Yeah?
Wow!
You know, you've heard of getting a jellyfish thing and you're supposed to wee on it and pull the toxin out?
Yeah.
But it does it with all toxins.
So they're not telling us this about our own urine, and they're running a medical industry when we literally can be.
Absolutely. If you've got an allergic reaction, for instance, hay fever or whatever, wait 10 seconds after you get your first symptoms, collect your wee, put 10 drops under your tongue, and the symptoms will disappear. Yeah? There's a guy who, his name is Andrew Morton Webber, who risked his life to prove that works. He was allergic to bee stings. First time he got stung, he had to be rushed to hospital, nearly died. And then after that, he had to keep an EpiPen ready to stab himself in the heart with. Yeah. So the next time he got stung, he literally put the 10 drops under his tongue and waited there with the EpiPen, and nothing happened.
Wow.
I've had the same thing with people who've said, you know, I've got terrible hay fever, and I said, use 10 drops. And they said, no, I'm not going to do that. And in the night, they got the hay fever so bad, they went, oh, I'm going to try it. They tried it, and next morning I said, it worked. It's great. This looks amazing.
So, I've got some more questions. So, because I had a portion of the video where I saw one guy, he was giving a demonstration. He said, I do this every morning. And he said, he was saying how much it makes him feel so good. Yeah. And I was using that to make fun of him. And
well, he's the one making fun of you, because you know what happens when you massage into your skin, okay, it puts the elasticity back into your skin. If you've got wrinkles, they start disappearing. You know? I had these very deep laughter lines down here, and they were permanent laughter lines. Yeah, and I over the course of a month, I watched them disappear. Get lighter and lighter, fade, and they only come up when I smile now, you know. And even that, they start to become just kind of dimples here now. You know, it's amazing. And you know, I had really old skin on the back of my hand before.
Yeah.
Not now. You know, it's you know, this isn't 54-year-old skin.
You know what? It's not. And that's what I was saying, like, Dave, man, you older than me and you look more, I need that, you know? So, hey, it's definitely something we don't know because I eat pretty good. You know, I don't eat meat, I eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. I'm seeing you in person, your skin got like a glow to it. I can see that your posture is very, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's all due to urine therapy, but I think you was healthy anyway.
No, but you know, before, you know, my posture, actually I've got a video on my channel called Interview with Simon, and it was done just before I started yoga. And I look like Jabba the Hutt on this, on the couch. And you can see that if you look closely, I'm not breathing like this. Because I can't get enough air in my lungs. And literally I'm this big lump. I didn't stand up or walk around, but you'd probably see my posture is kind of slumped a bit, and I'm old and tired in that video. I'm not that person anymore. And I can only put it down to, you know, urine therapy and you know, changing my diet. And we've got a water distiller over here that we drink distilled water.
And that's what I want to ask you. My family has been on alkaline water for a long time, but lately I've been hearing that distilled water is actually better than alkaline water.
Well, you know, alkaline water, well, the alkalinity part is you know, it's quite important, you know, alkalizing the body, but water isn't meant to be alkaline, you know, it's meant to be just water, you know, it's not, there are things like lemons you can use. They're acidic, but they have an alkalizing effect on the body. Distilled water does the same thing. It's slightly acidic, right? But it has an alkalizing effect. You know, I tested it because drinking distilled water and testing my pH had no effect on my pH. So alkalinity, as far as water is concerned, I don't think is important. What is important is that the normal sources of water, you know, bottled water, tap water, mineral water, spring water, yeah, they've got minerals in them. Okay, they've got inorganic minerals, rock and dirt, essentially. Yeah? That rock and dirt, when it's taken into your body doesn't know what to do with it. So it gets deposited around your body. So when it gets into your joints, that's arthritis. Literally, your joints turn to stone. Yeah? When it gets into your eyes, it's cataracts. When it gets into your arteries, it's heart disease and strokes. You know, into your bladder, it's your gallbladder, it's gallstones. In your bladder, it's what's the other thing? Kidney stones. Kidney stones. Yeah. So literally, it's this rock forming in your body. And when you look at the bottom of the where is this distiller?
It's right there on the camera.
Right. I was going to show you the inside of the distiller. Yeah. It's like if you run this distiller for a month solid without cleaning it, yeah, and you see what's left at the bottom of that distiller, yeah, it's disgusting. Right? And this is stuff that you would ingest and your body would have a very hard time getting rid of. Now, when you drink distilled water, the amazing thing about pure water is that it pulls in inorganic minerals and holds onto them. Okay? That's why we use water to wash our clothes with. You know, the dirt, inorganic minerals, comes out of the clothes into the water, doesn't go back into the clothes. Yeah? But it doesn't touch organic minerals. Okay? Because you know, blood stains, grass stains, you know, sweat stains, they're all organic minerals, organic things. The water can't touch it.
Yeah.
You have to use a detergent to break them down. Now the water can grab it.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you're drinking distilled water, it grabs onto those inorganic minerals that shouldn't be in your body, pulls them out.
To have that explanation make perfect sense with the washing clothes and everything, never looked at it like that. It's so much to know, and I just want to sit here asking questions, but I know we gotta go. Man, I gotta ask one more before we go though. Meditation, breathing, astral projection, going into those other worlds besides the one we physically see, because we all dream, we all lucid dream. What's the importance of tapping into that, and what role does it play, you know, with us in our spirituality?
Personally, I think it's got no importance whatsoever. We shouldn't be doing it. Yeah? We shouldn't be getting involved in it. We're here for a reason. We're not here to tap into other worlds and, you know, go off in those worlds. We're going to be there eventually anyway, yeah? We're here for a reason. You know, the Bible actually tells us don't have, you know, truck with channelers or sorcerers, or, you know, all these people who are giving all this new age rubbish about, you know, opening your third eye and you know, aligning chakras and kundalini things. Yeah, that's all bullshit. Yeah?
Well, what about the ancestors who spoke of these? We have a lot of our ancestors spoke of. Now, I want to say this. I'm into those things based on the fact that I've had personal experience with them. As a child, I would dream a lot. And I would go into these different worlds, and while I was dreaming, I wouldn't even know about this world. Like, there were times as a child, my dreams were so vivid that while dreaming, I would forget this whole life don't even exist no more in the dream world. It's just so real. And I remember as a child having dreams, and in the dream, realizing like, whoa, I'm dreaming right now. But I don't wake up, and I kind of stay in this dream world flying and like, yo, this is cool, until I do something that either scare me or make me like, maybe I need to go back, and I'll do this, and I'll wake back up in my bed like, yo, I was really aware. It's deep, because to dream and not know you're dreaming can be kind of like this life. We don't know there's nothing else. But to dream and actually become conscious that, hey, I'm dreaming, and you start flying and manipulating that realm. I would tell you, as a child, I would wake up with more confidence in this realm. It's like I got a secret connection with myself. And there's also certain couples that say they astral project and meet up into these, like, for example, like, I'm starting to look at it as when we go to sleep at night, that's not the end. We open new eyes and continue to get things done in that realm, and then we wait. Like, I'm starting to think that to not dream is a problem, because I noticed the healthier you get, the more you dream. I remember when I was eating more raw foods and stuff, I was dreaming more. What do you think? Because,
well, you know, again, going back to the Bible, I mean, that was the way that the Most High communicated with us, you know, and, you know, with the prophets through dreams. You know, who's to say that when you had those vivid dreams, they're not trying to tell you something? So there is that you know, method of communication. There may be you know, other dimensions that, you know, we can access, but I'm not sure we're meant to be doing that. You know, the demons in this world, and there absolutely are these non-corporeal demons out there that are very, very clever. They have knowledge. That's what the word demon means. Knowledge. They know things that we couldn't imagine. They know things about us, they know things about our loved ones, you know, dead people. They know things. They can pretend to be things. They can pretend to be whatever we want them to be. Yeah, so that we engage with them. And when we engage with them, you know, they have more power over us. Yeah, so if you get into astral traveling, maybe you'll start engaging with this experience that's being mediated by a demon. Yeah? And you engage more and more and more with it, and it gets more control over you. Like being an alcoholic. Yeah? And I think that stuff was invented so that we would, you know, engage with demons. That's why it's called spirits. Yeah. So you take a drink, it's fun, it's pleasurable. Yeah? You take a few more. Right? Something starts taking over you. You start acting not like yourself. You know, you have less ability to control your body. Yeah? Something else is in control. When you get really alcoholic, it's not you anymore. Yeah? And, you know, and you've got no control, and you're helpless in the face of this thing. And this thing starts taking over your life and doing stuff that you wouldn't ever do. Yeah? It's the same thing. You can be channeling, it can be palmistry, it can be all these other things, but if you keep engaging with it, it will take you over. There's lots of stories of people who have been channelers or whatever, who found that their personality changes and they've ended up in this really dark place, and you know, Satanism, witchcraft and all this.
It's been an excellent conversation. Well, I was just giving a testimony on astral projection. I don't know if it caught any of the last part of the conversation because it stopped on us. But nevertheless, I do have to get out of here. It's been such a pleasure dealing with you, Dave.
My pleasure.